Hey, I'm Raya.
And I'm Brandon.
And you're watching
More Love with R&B.
And we're in the same shirts as the last video.
Yep, we are. So you just wore that shirt. Yeah, you did.
Nah, so if you saw the last video that we did, we reviewed Blackish, season 4, episode 20.
Correct.
And we kind of binge watched 20 and 21. And so we are doing another review on episode 21.
Yes, and that episode is called Blue Valentime. You like that? Valentime?
Yes, I do.
With an M.
Valentine.
Blue Valentime. I was going to be on the screen. Blue Valentime.
There you go.
Blue Valentime.
Okay.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah, so if you have not checked out our review of episode 20, pause.
Yep, just pause.
And go and check that one out. It's really good.
Yes.
If I do say so myself. And then come jump back on here. If you haven't subscribed yet, come join the family. Want to just go ahead and plug that in so that we can just get into the good stuff of this video.
Indeed.
So go ahead and, where is it?
It's, I don't know, it's down.
Hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell next to it.
Yep.
And let's begin.
Let us. Is that your pun? Pun.
No.
Pun. Okay.
So anyway, the episode starts with lots of laughing and the kids as they're gathering themselves to go and leave. Mm-hmm. And they're going to the grandparents' house or whatever. Right. And then as they walk out the door, you see this gray...
Bluish.
Blue fog or
film
over top of the characters. It's like the life has left the house and it's just Bo and Dre alone.
So let me say this. One of the parts I thought was crazy about that aspect of it, once the kids left, all the color had left, all the life had left. And it was like she said, it was like this bluish gray film over the every shot.
Yeah.
It was like that the whole episode, except, and I can give this away because we already said. Oh, so yes, we're gonna spoil some things. So if you haven't seen the episode, go back and watch it.
Stop now.
Stop this. Go back and watch it. It's okay. Go back and watch it, and then come back to this.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. It was that bluish grayish film like over every shot the whole time, except when they flashed back to happy times in their marriage.
Yeah. I mean,
I was watching that and I was like, yo. So like when they were dating, or like with their marriage video, when he was like, oh, we got married, and then it was like it would come back to normal days, and then it was blue again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo.
As soon as I saw that, I was just like, oh.
That was brilliant. So shout out to the directors and the cinematographers that work on Blackish.
I felt the
don't.
life leave the house. And as soon as the kids left, they went to opposite sides of the room.
And just started like doing, like she was on her phone, he was on his phone. It was like, really, yo? But here's the funny thing. That was us.
That's most marriages.
That's a lot of marriages that do that. Like kids are gonna just y'all two and y'all don't even know how to act in the same room.
Yeah, that was really sad. So that first part like really hit me.
Yeah.
Marriages are like that. It's lifeless, it's loveless, and they weren't happy with one another, and people file for divorce after so many years. It's like insane. And so we're seeing it, we're watching it unfold right here on Blackish.
Yeah,
the couple that we fell in love with.
They're staying together for the kids, basically. That's where that's the kids. If you want to look at it from a cinematic standpoint, the kids were the love and the life of the home. It wasn't the marriage. It wasn't the foundation, the thing that even started that whole thing for the kids to come out of that. Like it wasn't that was giving life. The kids were now the life of the home. And when they left, that life went with them.
So another point that we saw that was worth pointing out is when Dre was like, all right, well, I guess I'll go to work.
To work.
Like, okay, so all of the children are gone.
They got 5 kids. Okay.
And you have a beautiful, nice, empty house. And the first thing you want to do on a Saturday is go to work.
Now, here's the thing. What we're not going to do, let's just back up and be careful. We're not going to judge. Because first and foremost, these are fictional characters.
I'm going to judge.
You're going to judge the fictional characters?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fine. Because the reality is, again, like, we saw so much of ourselves in these characters. Like, while we're watching, we're like, yo, like, this is why we recommend you watch these episodes, because you will have a visual representation of you and your spouse when y'all are in your lulls, your little dips, or when y'all not connecting and clicking. It's like, this is what it looks like. And we couldn't help but watch it. Like, we're not in that right now, but we couldn't help but watch it and see
aspects
ourselves
of our marriage
and be like, we look like that? Like, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And when you're in it, you don't even realize, like, oh God, you don't even realize what it looks like until you actually watch 2 fictional characters on TV do it very well.
Exactly. And so Dre was choosing to leave the house knowing that he wasn't in a good space in his marriage, knowing that he had the opportunity to spend time with his wife. He would choose to leave. And so Bo was like, well, you know what? Why don't we go to brunch? And he was like, oh,
I can do brunch.
Yeah, we can do brunch. He's like, well, unless you don't want to. Do you want to? Do you want to do, like, kind of like backpedaling? And he's like, oh, yeah, let's do it. And then you hear the doorbell ring. It's a contractor.
Real quick, I can't tell you how much my heart broke for Bo when the doorbell rang. She looked like hope was she had hope. She had genuine hope, and you could see it on her face. Great acting, Tracee Ellis Ross. Very good. You saw all this hope in her eyes, and in a split second of the bell ringing, you could see it gone, because she's like, oh my, like, what could that be? And it's almost like she knew whatever it was going to stop what they just decided on.
Yeah, and the thing of it is that they even talked about rescheduling.
And maybe we should just go ahead and reschedule. And he was like, no, well, he's here, and, you know, we might
So what I would suggest you guys do is choose each other.
Yeah.
In the situation, if you're finding yourself in a marriage where you are fighting, you are in your lull. It might not be as deep as theirs, but you are in a lull. You guys are having a fight that's never ending. You're not seeing eye to eye. Choose each other.
Yeah.
You don't have to get the contractor to come see it. You can reschedule the contractor. Mm-hmm. You can reschedule work on a Saturday. Choose each other. And they had the opportunity right then to go to the door and say, we're not available today. Can you come back next week? Because we're going to brunch.
And here's the thing. You got to choose each other with the intention that no matter what the consequences of not choosing the other thing are, you're still willing to choose each other. So even if the contractor's like, well, I came out, so I'm going to have to charge you $20, then pay the 20, but like, it don't matter. Like, don't get that whole, well, because he's here, he came all the way out. Like, your marriage is in shambles.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when the contractor came, he dropped off all this stuff they was getting their kitchen remodeled. So he dropped off like samples of colors and samples of cabinet textures and all this other stuff. And they were like trying to do that and pick out stuff.
They're trying to, kind of have fun. But
yeah. But here's the thing. When your marriage is in shambles, that is not the time to pick up a project or anything. Like there's nothing else of utmost importance in that kind of time. Another thing that we want to warn against is when you're in the middle of an argument, and we saw a lot of this in this episode, when you're in an argument with someone and winning is your intention and not like genuinely seeking to understand someone, it's never going to be productive.
Yeah.
And we even did a video about that called Marital Combat, where it kind of teaches you
like how to fight, how to argue.
Yeah, teaches you and encourages you on how to argue, how to disagree, and kind of how to come to a middle ground. Like the whole point is to come to middle ground and come to understanding, not to win a court case or to win a battle. I feel like so many times when people argue, somebody's coming up with a clipboard and, you know, Exhibit A shows us that, and you're like, what is happening right now?
Absolutely. And I mean, that brings me to a point that I wanted to make that I kind of mentioned when we reviewed episode 20, is that they weren't hearing each other. they weren't communicating honestly with one another. And so a point that or a part in the show that I saw was kind of towards the end where he gave her the ramen noodles, and she wanted to show that she had gotten him the sink, but none of them communicated with the other what they were trying to do. Both of them, the ramen noodles that Dre brought up was a peace offering. The sink that Bo got was a peace offering.
Ooh, yeah, that's deep.
But they didn't communicate what they were doing. So when he was like, I got you some ramen noodles, she was like, oh, they got a lot of sodium. And he didn't communicate like, yeah, I know, but remember that time? Like, he didn't just go further. He was like, oh, and like threw the ramen noodles in the trash. And then she was like, hey, Dre, but he was so disconnected and so sad that his gift was rejected. He didn't even see the sink. And she allowed him to leave without saying, hey, I don't know what you're feeling, but look what I got. Look what I got for you. You know, I got something for you as a peace offering. Like, they didn't go the extra mile to communicate. And it was an opportunity lost that they could have built from, but they weren't communicating honestly.
Nope. So we want to leave you guys with our last thought, and that's the one thing that we saw in this movie. That's the one thing that we saw in this episode of the show that was not happening. And Jennifer Lewis, we love Jennifer Lewis.
No.
We love Jennifer Lewis. She's been in like 100 movies that we love.
And she has like the same character, but she always kill it.
Little girl. What are you doing on those steps? Get down here. Like that kind of like. Anyway.
Love it.
She said something that was so correct and profound. She said, you have to keep choosing each other. You have to find new things to fall in love with. And it was so sobering that it's like, yo, like, how do we not keep this in mind? Like, all of us who are married and like want to have a strong, thriving marriage, how do we not keep remembering that when we're going through this thing, these little lulls and dips, and you know, our marriage is up here, but now it's kind of here, we've been busy and we're just hitting and missing. We're not intimate anymore. We don't hang out anymore. We don't date anymore. Like, we're kind of just roommates living under the same roof. Yeah. You know, we kind of come together when the kids are involved, but we're just in this, you know, this dark place. And somehow, it never dawns on anybody
to choose each other.
We gotta choose each other. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, let me get everybody's attention. Okay, we're not choosing each other. That's what's happening. Why were we thinking that? We gotta start choosing each other.
Yeah, but it's so true.
Like, you know, like, why don't we think that?
I don't know. And we have a video called Should We Get a Divorce? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we say in there was we've got to fight for one another. You cannot stop fighting for one another. You have to choose to be in this together. Yes. It's not about my feelings. It's not about what I want. It's about us. And if we're not choosing us, then this marriage is not going to work. And that's your marriage is not going to work. And so we're hoping to encourage those that may be dealing with issues in their relationship. Mm-hmm. Choose each other. Choose one another.
Please do. We really hope you guys like this video. We even hope you like the episode of Blackish. If you still are watching and haven't seen it, it's basically been spoiled for you, but I don't think it's been totally spoiled, so you can still go back and watch it and get a lot from it. Should. So please go watch these 2 episodes of Blackish. This one, episode 21, and then the one we did previously, episode 20. Yeah. Now, before we go, we are dropping this on a day where tomorrow, Tuesday, May 8th, they're going to show episode 22 of Blackish, and it's called Collateral Damage. And so, we don't know what's going to happen. It's going to air tomorrow. I will say this, lastly, if this is you, if you and your spouse go sit and watch Blackish, these 2 episodes, and then the one tomorrow on Tuesday, and you watch those and you see a glimpse of yourselves where you are right now, then we encourage you, like, all honesty, like, we care. As a couple, we care about your marriage.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
why we're doing this.
This is not a matter of numbers, but we really want you to go and subscribe to this channel. If this is you, do that right now. Like, go, I'm like not joking, subscribe right now. And we really want you to go through some of the videos that we've already put out, because we want to see your marriage survive.
Yeah.
And we want it to thrive and be lively again. And we know what it's like to feel like you're in a marriage where you're like, yo, neither one of us are getting anything out of this. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we gonna just keep kicking it and hanging out and being roommates? Like, let's get back to what it was in the beginning when we were in love and, you know, happy. Yeah. Some of y'all just ain't, like, just flat out, you're just not happy.
Yeah.
You're not happy. But a lot of the things that we go through kind of explain why that is, and hopefully will work you back into a better place in your marriage.
Yeah. So we definitely plan on watching episode 22 of Blackish.
Oh, yes.
And I believe that we're going to do a review.
I believe so, too.
So we hope that you stay tuned. Please hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when that video comes out.
Click that bell.
Yeah. And if you've seen these episodes and you have any additional comments about something that jumped out at you, please leave them in the comment section below. Please don't forget to share this video, especially to your family and friends that are married or even thinking about getting married. I think these are awesome videos to watch so that you are prepared for what marriage could possibly bring you.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you later.
Bye.